Welcome to another video from Ian's Garage. It's just a very short one to show you what you need if you're driving in France, even if you're just travelling through the country on a trip across Europe. There's two items on this list that I haven't currently got, so I'll just tell you what they are. One of them is a alcohol breathalyzer kit. That's the law in France. At the time of making this video, the bizarre thing is that there's no punishment for not carrying it, although it is the law, so you can't be fined or anything like that for not having one. But they do say you need an alcohol breathalyzer kit on you. The second item you need, which I don't have because I've used it, is a spare bulb kit for your car for any lights that go out. So you also need to carry a spare bulb kit with you if you're driving in or through France. Here's the other items. UK sticker. The old GB ones are not valid anymore. I don't know why it's ridiculous, but it's got to be a UK one. This is the magnetic one because I didn't want to damage the paintwork, but you need one of those on the back of your vehicle. First aid kit. One of these silly health and safety things gone mad, and there's actually one for everyone in the car, the driver, and one for any passengers, and also a warning triangle in case you break down. If you do break down, you've got to get out your car, put the warning triangle behind, and everyone in the car has to wear one of these. So that little list of what's needed to drive through France is up to date at the time of making this video. If you are driving into France, it's worth checking the requirements because they do change from time to time. Like the alcohol breathalyzer used to be punishable by a fine if you didn't have one. It's still the law, but there's no punishment currently, so I didn't carry one. The other recent change in the law driving through France is that UK sticker required on the back. I don't know why the GB ones are not valid anymore, it's ridiculous, but it's got to be UK, and that actually applies to all of Europe. The GB ones are not just invalid in France, but anywhere in Europe now. I kind of understand the warning triangle and the high visibility vest, because with French cars breaking down every 10 minutes, there's probably a lot of people to look out for when you're driving past, so I guess that makes sense. As for the rest of it, it's just the French law. Some of it's a bit ridiculous, some of it isn't. But if you don't carry them, you get fined. If you get a fine off the police in France as well, you've got to pay there and then, whether it's cash, card, whatever. They'll give you a receipt for it, but you've got to pay it there and then. They won't let you leave until you have, and if you haven't got means to pay the fine, they can be quite hefty. Some of them can be a few €100. Then they'll impound your car, and you'll have to pay for the recovery and collection plus the fine before you can go again. The other obvious one you've always got to carry with you is your vehicle registration document, like your V5 document, your ID, such as your passport, which is an obvious one anyway, and you also need proof of insurance to drive in Europe. The proof of insurance for European cover, I just took my insurance certificate along with like the policy schedule. Different insurers tell you different things. There's that green card that used to be a requirement for driving in Europe. I've got policies with a few different insurers, and one of them told me that the green cards don't exist anymore. You just take your certificate which states European cover. And another one told me you do need a green card, and they charge £25 to issue it. So it's worth checking with your own insurer on that, but you do need proof of insurance when driving in France or anywhere else in Europe. Another thing worth noting if you're driving in France, watch out for the speed limits. They're really, really strict on them, and again, there's hefty fines that you've got to pay at the roadside before you leave. There's quite a lot of speed cameras at the side of the road, but they also use some tactic, I'm told, where some of the bridges will be, for example, exactly 1 kilometre apart, and they'll measure you passing one bridge and then see how long it takes to pass the next one, and from that work out your average speed, and if you're speeding, even by a little bit, so watch out for that. Final thing, if you're towing anything like a trailer or a caravan, your UK sticker has to be on the back of that as well as on your car, so just bear that in mind if you're travelling through France. When I've driven, I haven't had any problems whatsoever with the police, not been pulled over, but I know they can be really, really strict. They've got some silly laws that they enforce with big fines. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you do drive through France, check the requirements yourself, because from time to time they do get updated and changed. So it is worth having a look what you need, especially that one in the insurance with the green card. I can't understand why one insurer's told me that I need a green card, and one within a few days told me that I don't. They were invalid, been invalid for a long time. While we're on the subject of France, you might have seen another video, I've got an old French car, and I'm going to be, in a future video soon, I'm going to be repainting the car using rattle cans by hand. It's going to be about 50 or 60 quid to repaint the whole car. I'm not a professional painter, I don't know how it's going to come out, but please subscribe if you want to see how it can be repainting a car with a rattle can. Thanks for watching.